Hello, people. I hope this live is working. I was trying to go live from my phone and it did not work. I tried like 5 times, so I'm hoping that it works here. I'm using my laptop, so hopefully you can hear me. Welcome to day 13 of 365 Days Live with New. If you are joining me live, say hello in the comments. If you're catching the replay, let me know still. Say hi, put hashtag replay, and yeah, let's say hi in the comments. All right, it is another day of doing the live at night. So I shared on my stories today that I usually start my full work week on Tuesdays because on Monday I am my fiance is home. He works 4 days a week, and so I really try to design my life in a way that prioritizes my values. So because I value quality time with him, and we just have that type of relationship where we love going out and doing a lot of things together, that when he is home, it feels the most aligned for me to hang out with him and make memories together more than spending that time working on my business. But of course, I still have clients. So for the clients who I do have, and have committed to, I do still show up and tend to them and work with them. But other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm not consciously or intentionally working on my business on Mondays. So that is why today I am again doing a later live. And for those who enjoy the later lives, let me know in the comments. When I am on my computer again, so far I have not seen any comments. So if you are commenting, um, just know that I am not ignoring you, and this is only the second time that I've done lives from my laptop. So anyway, happy full moon. If you did not know, today is a full moon. I don't, I'm not a really big astrology fan in terms of like following which sign the moon is in. Sometimes if it happens, it happens. But like, for example, like I just have it on my phone. So if I just look up, I have my sister introduced me to this app called Time Passages, and I just looked it up. Hmm. The full moon is in Cancer today. What do you know? So I am a Gemini, so I am, however, however, I grew up thinking that I was a Cancer because I was born in Thailand, and so June 22. So whenever I ran my charts, I would do it for June 22, which made me a Cancer. But it wasn't until like 2 or 3 years ago that I realized, hey, because of the location, I'm actually a Gemini, but I'm like a cusp, like almost a cusp. So I have a lot of Cancer within me. So today is a full moon in Cancer. So for those who are into astrology, you probably know a lot more um, about what that means. But the message that I want to share today is that I wanted to share my experience with full moons and just the moon cycle in general. And also today I just got some really beautiful pictures of the moon, and I shared them on my Instagram stories. So if you have not seen those yet, catch them before they, expire. But today's full moon, the first full moon of 2025, and yeah, I wanted to share a little bit of the history behind my experience and my journey with the moon cycle. So um, it was probably about 2 years ago that I intentionally started tracking my cycle, my menstrual cycle, and and then I was also learning a lot more about the different moon cycles, different moon cycles, as in the two main cycles that I pay attention to, which is the full moon and the new moon. So when I started tracking that, I started realizing that my cycle usually starts around the full moon. And if you know anything about being on your cycle, the week before you start your period, it's always, for me, it's always an emotional week. It's usually when things are coming up for me. It's usually when I am a lot more emotional. I am less patient. I, in a sense, am more tapped into my intuition, and I have less logic that is overriding my intuition, and it allows me to be more of who I am. And so what I noticed was that my cycle used to it still lands on the full moon. So what the full moon is it's believed that when the moon is full, it is going to shine light on you and parts of your life that is no longer in alignment with who you are. Things are going to come up for you. Things are going to rise up to the surface, right? Light is going to be shown on them for you to become aware of, and for you to decide whether it's still in alignment for you to continue doing what you're doing, to continue being in that relationship, to continue having this friendship, to continue doing this type of work, right? All the things will come up that needs to come up, that is right timing to come up, and it is for you to decide whether you are ready to let go of it, to release it, to transcend it. um, and yeah, so that in a basic nutshell, that is what the full moon is. And you can probably imagine what that can bring up a lot of emotions and a lot of uncomfortable feelings that some people don't want to sit with. Some people are not comfortable, or they're just not able to hold that much um, energy, that much responsibility, and you have to look at what is no longer serving you and decide if you are going to take action on not that by removing it, or actually make a conscious decision to keep it. So it can be challenging. And if you pair that with it being at the beginning of your cycle, when you are fresh, coming like into your emotions, and you're tapped in, and estrogen is high, and emotions can be up and down, it can be a really a struggle. So I feel like I wanted to share that because today, like in the morning, I had a good morning, but then I was reading the Bible with my fiance, and then there was like a small little glitch in terms of our communication, and I just got really sad and disappointed. And I felt like normally I wouldn't feel like that, but because of my emotions, and because I was aware that I am at the beginning of my, I'm sorry, I'm like holding my laptop with my hand, so it's like moving around. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But I am, let me try to set it down on my knee. It's distracting me. So, okay, hands off. So, yeah, so I got yeah, so I had a little hiccup, and what is beautiful is that I have, over the past several years, I have learned a lot of different tools and strategies on how to regulate my own emotions when they come up, and how to allow those emotions, and how to not compound them so that they become something monstrous that they were not. That, sometimes our emotions, when compounded, it evolves into a different emotion that may or may not be of service in the moment. So, um, yeah, and so I woke up this morning not knowing that it was the full moon, and then I woke up this morning not knowing that I was gonna be on my period today, and both of those things happened today. And so I was like, well, of course, right? And so it's just so beautiful whenever I realize that I'm really tapped into my emotions and my cycle and my body, and I know that usually when I'm not in this phase in my cycle, that I actually operate differently. And so I give myself a lot of compassion when I quote unquote mess up, or when I have a human experience and a human reaction to being sad about something, or being triggered back into an old memory, an old part of me, right? An old part of me got triggered. And um, I had something that came up that I wanted to share. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe it'll come back. But it has something to do with the cycles and the moon. But yeah, hopefully it'll come back. So that was my experience with the full moon. And so that I wanted to come on and share because for a long time I was not tracking my cycle and I was not aware of like what this new moon. Oh, I remember. So, okay. It was about the moon stuff. So, oh dear. Brain farts. Uh, um, it was about, yeah, whenever the full moon, and I was not tracking my cycle before, and I was not tracking the moon cycle either, and so I didn't know what each of them meant. By the way, I forgot what just came, so I'm moving on. I'm letting go and moving on. So the full moon is what we need to release, and is light is going to be shown upon us and illuminate what needs to be released. Now, in about, because every month we go through a full moon and a new moon, right? And it usually is around 28 to 30 days, depending. Um, and then when the new moon comes around, it is a different intention. It is supposed to be a time where you get a blank slate and you get to plan. You plant seeds, you plant intentions, you set intentions, you create goals, or maybe you recreate goals, or this can be your new beginning for the month. This is a time where you feel you can have that fresh energy, that fresh intention, moving into the next phase of the cycle of the moon starts again. So, in 28 days or so, about depending on when the new moon is when you can sit down. And I don't do this on a monthly basis, but I do it whenever it feels right or I feel called to do so, where I sit down and I set intentions for that month. Because again, remember, I already do monthly intentions. So, and I do them at the beginning of the month versus doing them with the moon cycle, which I feel like I should change. Having a in the moment realization that why don't I just switch my monthly intentions to align with the new moons? Oh my god, new light bulb moment. I love it when I have light bulb moments without even trying. This is amazing. I think I'm going to do that. After this, I'm gonna look up when the new moon is and just start my new monthly intentions on the new moon. Ah, okay. I'm very proud of them. Very profound for me. So let me do that. Thank you, live stream. Thank you, Facebook Live. I would never have thought about that. So that's that. Okay. So new moon, setting new intentions, new beginnings, and then full moon is illuminating onto your life what needs to change, what is no longer serving you, and it is in your decision, in your personal power to decide whether you want to change it or not, and remove it or not, release it, however you want to think about it. So, yeah, that thing that I wanted to say is still not coming to me, so that's okay. I'm going to continue sharing about the cycles, and I am going to do a separate video about the different cycles and my experience with that as well, because it has been life changing and I'm still learning. This is pretty new to me, but so far I have been doing really well with it, and I'm going to share with you so I can take you along with me as I'm experimenting with this new way of being, new way of life, and kind of like probably you've heard it by the term cycle syncing. So I am going to share about that in a different live. But yeah, so today's live, I wanted to just share about the full moon and what that means for me. And for me, if I were, might as well share my intentions, what I feel or what I am feeling called to release, right? So for me, I would say that this full moon, what I have noticed come up for me in terms of what is no longer serving me is is guilt. My own guilt that I have, mm, I would have to say that I have carried with me from a young age. And it doesn't help that in human design, my motivation is guilt. Okay, so that doesn't help, God, Mother, Universe, but it is what it is. So, but I've been conditioned from a young age, and because of my guilt motivation, it has stuck with me a lot more um, than some of my siblings. Is this guilt to do this guilt that, like, when if I'm not working hard, if I am not pushing, if I am not quote unquote suffering, if I am not self-abandoning, then I am not doing good. I am not being a good person. So I'm releasing that because I know logically in the past, I when I think of that, of course that logically is so silly, but the mind and the body are two very different parts. And ever since I've learned about the nervous system and how trauma has affects how trauma affects your nervous system, that changed my life, changed my world, changed my understanding of myself. So now I understand that, of course, it's not logical for me to hold on to guilt and to have guilt motivate me to just do. But I've been realizing it's not helping me. It's not helping anyone. Like when I, just like 2 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with my partner and I was diving into like, oh, like I need to do this and this and that because I already said I was going to, and if I don't, then I feel guilty. And and then he was like, okay, well, but why are you doing it? Like, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. And I was like, well, I'm just doing it just to prove that I'm right. And I was like, and he's like, prove that you're right about what? And and then I didn't know how to answer because I was functioning from such a subconscious place that I was like he literally like challenged me, and I was like, oh shoot, like I'm just doing this all from this place of guilt. And from that place I took so many actions so far that I felt like I couldn't turn back and pivot. So again, that story, I literally should tell that story tomorrow of like what has been happening, um, and the decision that I just recently made. So I should probably write that down right now so that I can, just share that tomorrow as my life, because I keep saying that to you guys and then I don't. Share big decision on live tomorrow or today. I'm gonna set it to go off tomorrow. That's usually how I do it. And I'll do it for like 10 a.m. Sure, 10 a.m. Okay, it is done. It is done. See the beauty, the magic of having technology and using it as a tool. Okay, where am I going with this? So, yeah, guilt. So, I'm ready to release the guilt that I need to work hard in order to be worthy, to have value, to then I also need to be the guilt to make money so that I feel like I um, am contributing. The guilt to, and these are like very vulnerable things that I usually don't share, and that so if you are watching me and you have been watching all these lives, you are probably going to know so much more about me than like my family, or like sometimes maybe even my parents, and like some of my friends, because I just believe in being true, raw, and authentic, because that's just how we're meant to be. That's how our energy is going to flow the best. And I have the gate of self expression, and it's just going to go, and I'm just called to do that. So that's why I'm here. Anyway, that was a kind of little disclaimer, but yeah, so the guilt to work hard to make money, the guilt to, like, I feel like, and what I mean by that is like if I don't work hard and I just make money easily, like I feel guilty for that. I feel like I shouldn't make money that easily. And I know that that messes with my frequency, and I know that it messes with the universe and my receiving. it messes my receiving sequence. And so I know that when guilt is involved, I'm not going to be able to fully receive. So I am working on allowing myself to receive and believing that it can be easy to receive. I can relax and receive. I can do what I love and receive. So I'm letting go of all those stories, of all the guilt that I have to work hard, that life has to be hard, that I have to. If it comes easy, then it's not true. It's not real. It's not. I'm not worth. Um, I'm not valuable. I'm not worth earning that money, and I have to earn my money. There you go. I'm letting go of the belief that I have to earn, that I have to work hard to earn money. Because, like, why does that have to be my reality, right? Why does that have to be your reality? Why can't we believe that money comes to us easily and effortlessly? Why can't we believe that money comes to us when we are doing what we love? Why can't we believe and live in a world where we are paid well for what we love? We are paid well for our strengths. We are paid well for what we're good at, what we are good at naturally. And why should we be paid, like, because I used to think this about teachers, because I used to be a teacher, where like we do a lot of work, we do such important work, yet we are not compensated in the same way. Like, why is that, right? So I want to build a movement. I want to build up women to realize and to own their personal power and their own belief, their value, that you don't have to work hard to earn a lot of money. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in order to be a good person, right? So I'm letting go of that. And so the full moon like is illuminating that really big for me this past week, and I'm just really embracing it, and I really want to anchor that in and set that as um, my just release it. And I will, of course, anchor it in my intentions. But that is a big, big thing that I want to release is that guilt. Guilt. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I is the most present for me. So, you can always just choose one thing. If there's a lot of things going on for you, then choose a lot of things, write down those things. But for me, for this month, as of right now, I can, that is the biggest thing that has been coming in, and I've been experiencing in many different forms. So that is what I'm releasing for this full moon. And so what you can do is you can just sit, you can just, write, or you can just talk to somebody. Or if you are more of someone who likes to do a ritual, then, I've done those before as well, where you sit down in your meditative space, you put on music, you really tune into yourself, your higher self, and you really, you know, imagine all these, what you want to release, and you can imagine a cord um, being like attached from you to this thing that you want to release, and you can cut that cord and allow that thing to be released into light, right? It doesn't have to be like, you like shooting it or like anything aggressive. Whatever comes intuitively to you, you cut the cord, you cut the line, you release it, and you let it go. You thank it for the wisdom and the protection that it has attempted and have been trying to help and keep you safe for this long. And then with gratitude and compassion and love, you let it go. And you can do that, and then you take a deep breath, and you can let it go and visualize it being gone from your life and into white light. And to me, that feels good because there is, I believe that energy is always there. We just transcend or transmute that energy. So transmute what's not good into light, into good. You can do that. You can light candles. You can write it down on a piece of paper and burn it. You can flush it down the toilet. You can just rip it up and throw it in the trash can, right? You can do it however works for you. Um, but yeah, so that's a little like full moon intention, a full moon releasing ceremony you can do to release what is no longer serving you and really cleanse that from your energetic body. So, yeah, I think that is it for today's live. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments, say hi. I would love to know what you are releasing this full moon. And yeah, I would love to celebrate that with you, you know. So if you don't know what you're releasing, well, then this is your invitation to think about what you're releasing. If you know what you're releasing, well, that's amazing. Let me know. I would love to know as well. And yeah, I think that is it. If you have not heard about my human design readings that I'm offering right now, really great deal. It just human design readings is just invaluable. So I would, if I were you, I would take the chance right now, as it is going to be such a good deal right now. $44 for a foundational reading, 77 for an advance, or 111 for all for the bundle for both of them. So book now. Link is in my if you're watching, if you're listening or you're watching on YouTube, I will the link I will provide the link. But if you are on Facebook, you just go to my Facebook page, and the link is there on Calendly. Or just send an email or send me a message, and I can get back to you. All right, that is it for tonight. I'm going to go back to my fiance, and we're gonna probably watch. Oh yeah, we have a movie we have not finished. So, oh, did we finish it? Yeah, I don't think we finished it. Anyway, I'm gonna go back and hang out with my the love of my life, and I will see you tomorrow for the next live. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your night. Bye.